Sony Vegas.
Hey, what's up? Robert here, coming at you with the Getting Started series in Sony Vegas Pro 11. So in the last episode I showed you how to import video, but I didn't show you how to get Vegas to know what kind of footage you're using. So let's say I am only using SD footage, not 1080p. I can go ahead and change that here in Vegas. So let's take a look at how to do that. You can either go to File, New, create a new Vegas document, File, Properties, or simply in the toolbar, click this little Properties button. There's even a shortcut key, Alt-Enter. And here you'll see the different project properties. The template right now that Vegas defaults to is HD 1080 60i. So actually, my footage is not 60i, it's actually shot in 1080 at 24 frames per second. And you can see once we select a template, it'll automatically adjust the width and the height. Now, if your video was SD video footage, you can always go in, change it to NTSC standard 720x86 and whatever you need to use. Here we have, the field order, pixel aspect ratio, output rotation, where you can change the rotation of the output. Obviously, you have the stereoscopic 3D mode. That's if you're using 3D footage, but we are not in this episode. We have the pixel format, mainly different settings that we don't always need to adjust. But if you do need to adjust them, you can always check out the help file for what each and every effect does exactly. And if you're just maybe using one camera and you know that your video is always going to be in 1080 24 frames per second or a certain template, you can always come down here and start all new projects with these settings. And then you can adjust the audio however you like, the ruler which adjusts the timing and the timeline, the summary of the video project, or an audio CD, which is not really necessary. It's for creating CDs with another program. So we're going to simply click apply and click OK. So now Vegas is ready, it's in 1080, and it knows that the footage is going to be 24 frames per second, and we shouldn't have any problems importing videos. I already showed you how to import videos. Just simply get your folder with all the clips in it, select them all, and import them into Vegas. Here's one thing that I didn't mention is that, let's say I imported all these clips into the timeline. Then I go back to the folder. What are all these new SFK files? These are actually graphic drawings of the waveform that Vegas will always create. Even if you delete these files, Vegas will recreate them. So one thing you can do is just right click your folder, sort by, type. And we have all the video clips on top and the SFK files on the bottom, so we can just ignore them. So don't worry, those are meant to be there. So we can minimize that, and here we have all of our clips imported into Vegas. Now what? Well, I wanted to show you a little bit more about this top toolbar. You have a few various tools that I did not go over in the previous episode. I did go over the zoom edit tool, that's also available down here. I went over this auto crossfade and snapping, but I don't think I went into too much detail with a few other tools such as this selection tool. If you click to use the selection edit tool, I've set a shortcut for it. Normally Vegas doesn't have a shortcut for the selection edit tool, so I went in and added a shortcut key to it, and it's control number 6. You can edit the keyboard shortcuts by going to Option, Customize Keyboard, and I've just showed a command for the selection edit tool. Tool selection, control number 6 right here. So now that I have that selected, I can actually go in and select various clips as I need them. So I can go in anywhere in the timeline and select what I need, just like that. And then I can come back to the normal edit tool by hitting Control D. And then we're back to our normal edit tool where we can go in and select individual clips. You can always control click to select different areas, different clips, or use Shift to select a sequence of clips. And next to that we have the envelope edit tool. This is if we have audio envelopes or video envelopes. We'll get more into envelopes later on, but if you right click on the audio track and I click insert, remove a volume envelope, I have this little volume envelope, and if I add a few points, this tool will help you add, remove, and adjust envelope points. But to be honest, this tool is really not that necessary since you can do pretty much all of that with the normal edit tool. So I'm going to get rid of the envelopes here real quick. And the next tool we have here is the Ignore Event Grouping button. So I'm going to go ahead and delete a few clips here. And here we have these flowers and the pool. And you can tell they are all grouped together with the audio, since that's the audio from the clip. But if I click the Ignore Grouping button, Control-Shift-U, I can move the top around, move the bottom around to where I want it, Control-Shift-U to turn off Ignore Event Grouping, and now the whole clip will move together, but with my adjustments made, just like that. So that prevents you from having to ungroup clips. You can just ignore grouping, move things around, and then turn that off. And then all of your clips are regrouped. And then we have our auto ripple tool, Control-L. The auto ripple tool is going to keep our clips together the way we put them. So if I put this over here, and let's say actually I shortened this flower clip, that clip is going to go back in. So if I had this touching and I shorten the flower clip, it'll go in. If I lengthen the flower clip, it'll go out, just like that. And then you can move things around accordingly. So it's a neat feature to use that helps you a lot during editing. We have our automatic crossfades button, which I've already showed you. That's when we put a clip on top of another clip, it'll automatically enter a crossfade. Just like that. And that's pretty much it for the main tools. And then we have the redo, undo button, paste, copy, cut, properties, render, save as, and so on. If you hover over them, they'll show you what they do. And we also have some interactive buttons here. We have what's the help. In case you don't know what the help button does, it'll tell you. Actually, what it really does is if you're in the help section, contents and index here, and I click the what's the help button, click the pool, it'll actually go to where that is, the video preview window, and it'll tell you all about it. Or you can even go through some interactive tutorials, click that button, and let's say you want to know more about the basics, you want to know more about how to add media to the timeline, just click that, and then go through the little tutorial that they have to learn more about adding video to the timeline. So it's a pretty neat feature, especially if you're just getting started and you still want to know a little bit more about what each window does that I haven't explained. One last thing to show you is I did show you how to add video effects, but let's say I go ahead and add a Sony color corrector. You'll see right here there are presets. There are different presets for each video effect. So no matter what effect I use, they mostly all have video presets built in. So this is pretty cool. So let's say if I wanted this pool water to look like cafe a lot, there's that. If I want it to look film-like or coral reef, click that. Film-like, and so on. You know, different built-in presets that'll save you some time when color correcting and so on. One last thing I'm going to show you real quick today are the video and audio bus tracks. If you go to View and you come down here to Audio Bus Track or Video Bus Track, Control-Shift-B or B, let's hit B. We have our master audio track. This is the master track. So all of the audio that we have in our timeline can be edited in this master track. So if I wanted all of the audio that were in different tracks to be negative 8.9 decibels, I can do that. So the final output would be negative 8.9 decibels no matter where the audio is in the timeline. Now if I hit Control-Shift-B, we have our video master track. So this is if I have a bunch of videos and a bunch of different video tracks, I can color correct everything in the video here in the master video track. So it's a pretty neat feature, and we'll hopefully take a look at that more in depth in a future tutorial. So there you have it, a few extra tips on getting started in Vegas. Hopefully this helped. Remember, if you have any questions, you can always ask me on Twitter or at the contact form at the site or in the comments below. Pretty much anywhere you see a place to contact me, I will be able to see it and hopefully answer your questions. Alright, thanks for watching. That's all I have for today. I hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more tutorials just like this one. Follow @Rob's Productions on Twitter and like us on Facebook.